WildSnorlaxAppears.com.
Season 3. Hi, and welcome to WildSnorlaxAppears.com. And this time, yay, I'm doing a little segment on the good old Nintendo Game & Watches. Now, these were mainly back in the 80s. They were the precursor to most of the lovely handheld systems that you know today. I was lucky enough to live in Gibraltar in the early 90s, and thus every little street corner seemed to have these little beasts hanging around. So I got like, well, 3 or 4 of them, and here's my top 5 that I really enjoyed as a kid and as an adult. Yay! So basically, number 5 was Mario Bros, and it was this little beast here. And most of these, actually, the ones that I've got are the like all dual display, apart from one, obviously. And they basically, this one was like a clamshell, and it opens up, and as you can see, it's Mario Brothers. The left hand side here is Luigi, and this on the right hand side is Mario. It was basically March 1983. This was. And the whole point is you had to get the bottles from the conveyor belt on the bottom to the truck at the top. And it was pretty hard because it basically sped up over time. But the beauty of this game was you could kind of cheat and have 2 players. So you could have one being Luigi and one being Mario. And all you had to do was concentrate on one screen because it got pretty tough in the end. So I was quite happy to have a second person with me. It was the most enjoyable one, I think, just because it was 2-player action, opposed to quite a few of these were like, you know, 1 player. But it was the ease of the game. Obviously LCD screen, so it was pretty simple. But you know, I just think it made the games because the simplicity, but it was the challenge of seeing how far you could go, really. So click. They were pretty damn good. Number 4 was Donkey Kong 3. Now this one was a good favourite purely because of the strange design. It was part of the Micro Versus series, basically meant for more 2-player rather than 1. This was August 1984, which surprised me because I thought this came along a bit later on. So basically it's 1 screen, but the good thing is obviously you could open it up. I'll never be able to get them back in again. And as you can see, 2 little controllers come out. Now the controllers were like quite cute, you know, basically just like a D-pad with like a little button. But you had 2 of them, and obviously you had retractable cables. So it was fun because obviously it was something a bit novel, and the whole point was you're dealing with insect repellent, and you had to get the flies to the other side of the screen, to the enemy side. And then the like wasps or like bees would basically sting the other opponent. There was only 3 of these made, as in 3 of the like series. One was boxing, and the other one was I can't remember what the other one was. It was hockey. It was Donkey Kong Hockey or something like that. So this is just Donkey Kong 3. It was just basically, I think it was you versus Donkey Kong, or was it Mario? I can't remember. But it was basically the like novel pads that basically made this game. So that's basically number 4. Number 3 is well, bit of a cult classic, really. I've even got the box for this one. It's Zelda. Now Zelda came out, let's have a look, August 1989, and it's pretty cool. This one that I've still got has still got the protective screen on the like front of the game. Again, it was like a flip screen, and it was pretty damn awesome because it was more of a game. Because it came out in 1989, it was as close to a game as the Game & Watch series really could get. The top screen had your infantry, the map, and it was the screen that you used to fight the like dragon bosses with. And the bottom screen was the basic levels, getting through each level. You had the ghosts, which appeared on the left-hand side, and the wee little goblins along the bottom that used to stick the spikes up, and you had to basically dodge them whilst killing the enemy on the right-hand side. So it was pretty damn good. It was almost like playing Zelda on like a NES or like SNES, really, but it's basic, but it was fantastic because it was as close to a game as you can possibly get. This game was very challenging. I spent hours as a kid playing it and managed to beat it. I tried it recently and I didn't get anywhere close. So it just shows you when you're like younger, your ability to complete these pretty hard games is far better than it is now. So that was number 3. Number 2 was my favourite. I think this was possibly the first one that I got. Gold Cliff. It's October 1988. Again, multi-screen. Grab the key on the right and go up and basically escape the level. But you had to do. It basically was jumping. It was accurate jumping because there was platforms that on various levels that used to appear, and you had to jump all the way up. And it was remembering the pattern, or basically getting to know the pattern of each level. And you were against the clock, and some of the speed jumps that you had to do, especially near the end. I remember being absolutely brilliant at this. Again, I tried it again, and I'm like, how was I actually so fast back in the day? But this one here was a definite challenge if you're a platform geek, because to me, it was a bloody fantastic game. I think there was like many levels actually. I was actually surprised how many variations there were. So Gold Cliff, give it a go if you like a bit of jumping, because it was insane. And number 1 then. Number 1 for me, Bomb Sweeper. It was June 1987. It didn't need to be a dual screen one at all, because this top screen is, I think it was just a guy pacing back and forth. That's all it was. The bottom bit was the bit you use, and it didn't even have any secondary buttons here at all. It was purely just like D-pad. It was just one of these like rare. You had to basically decipher puzzle solving like a labyrinth to find the bomb and basically disarm it in time. It's basically one of these where you once you pushed it, you can't push the like block back, so you had to make sure that you were doing it correctly. It was frantic, and it was very accurate, and for me, it held everything that the Game & Watch series was basically, which was simplicity, but my god, it was challenging. And I think this has to be number 1 because of the hours that you put into it and the enjoyment that it actually gave you, because for something so simple, it was so infuriating, and I think that has to be given points for that one. So that's it. That's really my like top 5 there. I did get a few other ones like Lifeboat and Greenhouse, but they weren't as good as like these 5, because they were pretty much standard stuff, but these at least had a bit of variation, and especially with like Zelda and Donkey Kong 3 had something a bit extra. So there we go. Give them a go. Some of them are quite cheap, some of them are fairly expensive, but I hope you had good memories of like Game & Watch, because I certainly did too. Thank you.